This is John for Global Traveler. This morning, I have the pleasure of talking travel with travel expert Annie Pezza. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, John? Good to be
I'm doing
here.
great. Love to
Great.
talk travel, talking with the travel expert. Tell us, what was
Yes.
your road to becoming a travel expert?
Oh,
In
wow.
brief.
Sure. I'll give you the quick nutshell version. I always was passionate about planning travel. As a mother, I really looked forward to the next trip. It's a really great chance to connect with your family on a deeper level when you're away from all the distractions of home. So for me, travel was really important because I could get that time that I really wanted to be with my family, away from everything. And I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I've always um, noticed gaps in the marketplace. And my husband had actually just finished an MBA program. He was in a startup frame of mind, and I just said, "Hey, I have this idea, and I really think it's something that's missing. What do you think?" And he was like, "Yeah, go for it." So yeah, I guess, I am a travel expert now because I've built this travel platform and I've done tons of research. I'm an avid traveler myself. And I just love it. I love planning travel and I love trying to make it better.
So tell us a little bit about your actual platform.
Sure. So, this is actually something that I will tell investors because it helps people really imagine what the platform is if you haven't had a chance to see it. I say that we're built like Spotify in a nuts and bolts sort of way. On Spotify, you can grab a music playlist and save it to your profile. You can do that with a travel story on Pinerary. Um, we inspire like Pinterest, so it's very visual. You see people's beautiful photographs that accompany their trip, which they tell a story, in and of themselves. And then finally, I like to say we connect like Substack because these are stories. They're beginning to end, beautiful tapestries, really, of people's memories of a trip. And they do tell a story. They're ways of expressing your travel persona, your expertise, or it's just your beloved family story. And we capture travel stories. That's what we do.
So is Pinerary the name itself? Did that come from Pinterest and itinerary?
It's so funny. Everybody asks that, and it makes perfect sense. But I'll tell you the origin story. We actually wanted to call it My Itinerary, like my itinerary, and that was taken. The domain was taken. So then my husband said, "What about My Pinerary? Because you pin on a map." And it's like, "Yeah, My Pinerary. Let's do that." And then after talking to a lot of people, they were like, "It's kind of old fashioned with the My, like MySpace. Let's get rid of the My and just leave it Pinerary." But it is funny because people have said, "I feel like you're the Pinterest of travel." So it goes well.
It does work for you.
Yeah.
Well, how is Pinerary different from other travel sites?
I will tell you. So, and this is really, where I saw the gap in the marketplace. You have a lot of bits and pieces reviews, and you're not quite sure who's behind that review. That could be a person that, travels completely different than you. You have platforms that are very transactional. And I wanted to create something with soul. You know, I, I like to say that Pinery is that conversation that you have, the first one to two things you talk about when you see your friend is, "Oh, what did you go on a vacation? Where'd you go?" And then what happens? You start sharing about your incredible experience. "Where did you stay when you went to Costa Rica?" "Oh, you stayed here." "Well, for how long?" "Oh, okay, you would rent a car or you wouldn't, or avoid this side of the beach because this is where the seaweed comes in." It's all of that information that helps us plan. It saves us time. It helps us from going to so many places online to find what we really do, need to find out to make, the trip, um, special, obviously, but avoiding those mishaps. So it's the full story. And it really didn't exist out there. And I knew that we needed to take those conversations that are really, they're drivers of the travel industry. They're a huge source of inspiration for people. So why isn't there a place? Why isn't there a community for sharing those travels? And that's why we created Pinerary.
So on the site, I've been on it. I really enjoy it. Do you have any sort of checks and balances to make sure that, let's say, a hotel doesn't flood you with positive reviews, stuff like that?
Um, so, it's all user generated content. So, it's people are going to put what they want to put on Pinerary. Now, of course, we can look at those stories and we're small enough to where we can keep an eye on stories and, make sure that something's not being put out there that, isn't something that we wouldn't want people to see. But with all of the AI tools out there, there we can definitely monitor, everything, that's coming up on Pinerary. But I will tell you, what's so golden about these travel stories is the recommendations that lie within them have actually really been beneficial to hotels. And that's a connection that we're exploring because we love the independent boutique stays, and so does our target demographic, which is the young female millennial traveler. Although everybody's welcome on Pinerary, we have everybody come, but it's those really those experiences that you can really feel the culture of the location where you're staying that really goes well with our audience. And so, yeah, I think it's a great place for people to find places that they'd love to stay, and based on trusted recommendations.
I asked that because, I looked, obviously, I've been on your site. And it does seem real. It seems, I didn't see a whole lot of stuff that I went, yeah, it's just, fluff. It does seem like it does seem like you weed out a lot of, or maybe you don't get a lot, but it just seems very realistic and very true, which I don't find. You find a lot of other stuff on other sites, is what I'm trying to say. This
Yes.
site seems to be more legit.
That's what we're aiming for. We launched in 2024, and what we've done is we've just been collecting these travel stories organically. I mean, we obviously go out and talk to people, and we involve creators to share their travels because they're travelers like every one of us.
Oh,
But
sure.
but we're all creators. I'm a creator, you're a creator. When we travel, we're creating these incredible memories to be shared. Um, but yeah, yeah.
So, what changes in the industry have you seen since you've been running your sites?
It's funny. When we first launched, there was a lot of talk about AI, and people kind of looked at Pinery like, oh, wow, you're about, people sharing travel. Well, it's all about AI now. People aren't going to care, about what real people are doing and human stories. And obviously that's not true. We're human beings. We love to communicate. We love connection. And that's what we're doing. We're creating this community on Pinerary, right? That's completely trusted. And we've come now, it didn't take us long to come back to this place of, wow, humanity is so important, connection is so important. What we can learn through travel is so important. And now we're in this really great spot where, there are a lot of AI platforms out there that they they respect us because we're kind of a trust layer that people are looking for, and we're doing something that no one else is doing, and that's just sharing the full story of a trip.
Okay, so you said people, and I agree, you said people learn a lot from travel. What have you learned?
What have I learned since launching this business?
Yeah, about travel. Well, how
Oh,
has travel impacted you? How has travel changed you?
yeah. You know, I it's really funny that this year is the year of transformative travel. Everyone's talking about how like this is the year of meaningful travel, right? It's the year of transformation, and um, I love it, and I couldn't agree more. I have been changed through travel in some of the best ways, and I think a lot of people would say the same thing. We discover things about ourselves. Sometimes not great. Sometimes, you get away from home and you see something in yourself and you're like, wow, you see someone else in another culture that you meet and you're like, this person really gets it. This is an area in my life where I can make some improvements. And then you come home better. And I feel that travel has the opportunity to, um, change people's lives and then that spreads to your communities. So I think there's so much power in travel, and I've experienced that myself. And if we can be a platform that shares those stories of transformation and impact other people, I mean, there's a lot of power in that.
So you've traveled a lot. Of all the places you've gone, one or two places were hopefully a good, but were a good surprise for you, pleasant. I didn't expect this.
I would have to say, I had the opportunity to do a trip with my daughter who is about to graduate college, and it was between her senior year of high school and college, and we went to Switzerland, and we both love mountains, we both love hiking, and we traveled through Switzerland, and we went to Appenzell, which is near the Osher guest house. I don't know if you've ever seen that guest house that's perched up on the cliff. It's
Yeah,
really
amazing.
iconic. And so we said, we've got to go here. And so we get there, and, it's all about the views. It's all about, obviously experience, but you do want to, you want to capture that moment in photographs. And of course, the day that we're there, and actually at the end of the summer, it was a snowstorm in the mountains. And it was cold and cloudy. The weather just took a crazy turn for the worse. And so, I had to handle that disappointment. And also I wanted to um show my daughter, how to handle times, when things don't go your way. You just have to appreciate what you do have. And it was sitting inside the Usher guest house, and experiencing, the room with the stone walls, and spending more time in the caves on our hike down, and just, looking at the positives versus the negatives. And look, things aren't always going to go your way, but we're in Switzerland. So
No, that's a fantastic lesson. I was in Minnesota once. A bunch of my friends went to a ball game. Ball game was fine. Came out of the ball game, pouring rain. We ended up just sitting in the hotel, the bar area, and just we had a great time. It's one of the best times we ever had.
yeah,
So, you make a valid point there that you make the most of what it is, and you're still
yeah.
out there. You're still out there experiencing something.
Absolutely.
What's next in your travel? What do you call bucket list? I'm sorry, I lost the
Oh,
word. What's on your travel bucket list?
oh, yeah. Well, wow, it's a really tough decision for me. I would say someone shared a story recently on Pinerary about the Pink Lagoon in Western Australia. So that looks really, really interesting to me. I've never been to Australia, so that's a place I'd really love to visit. And then I also have to say, I would love to do some train travel. I've been going on rail bookers. I don't know if you're familiar with rail bookers, but I've been checking out all of the train travel and all these beautiful, incredible trains. I love sustainable travel. So I'm really into train travel, and I'd love to experience, like, I don't know, the Belmont Royal Scotsman, or, one of those really beautiful, iconic train experiences would be fun.
Yeah, any of those sound good to me.
I know there's so many to choose
Exactly.
from.
What's next for you?
Um, I think right now I'm just really invested in um building this incredible community with Pinerary. It's my passion, and understanding what travelers really want and making sure that I always keep that in mind when we do build Pinerary, and just being mindful in the way that we expand without losing sight of our true mission, and that's just to connect people through these incredible stories. With making the world better. I mean, it sounds lofty, but I just have, I think big when it comes to Pinerary. I think there's a story behind every experience, and I'm excited to see where that takes us. And I think Pinerary can be the place where you go to find the stories um, that help you discover just all the incredible experiences that are possible around the world.
I have no doubt it's going to continue to grow. Now, you're not from Chicago, but you're in Chicago now, correct?
Yes,
But
correct.
I have to ask the really hard questions now.
Yep.
Deep dish, thin crust, what's your
Oh my
go-to?
gosh, I'm a thin crust girl. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I appreciate deep dish, I really do, but I just love a good thin crust. I'm really into that. I know, Chicago's about the deep dish pizza. Um, but yeah.
Actually, I'm with you on that. I'll
Are
go for
you?
thin crust anytime. Deep dish
Yeah.
is fine. I'm not
Right.
going to turn down any pizza, but
Totally. I
yeah,
mean, I'll eat the pizza. I
yeah,
don't
exactly.
discriminate.
No, no complaints. All right,
No.
one last silly question. your
Sure.
hot dog, do you put ketchup on it or not?
Oh no, no, no.
Was
My
that is that a
dad,
you thing, or is that just did that change when you moved to Chicago?
well, no, it's a dad thing. My dad is from St. Louis, and he's
Okay.
like, you can't have ketchup on a hot dog. I'm happy that translates to Chicago, but yeah, no, mustard and onion, maybe some sauerkraut, and sure, we'll do the Chicago style dog, but no ketchup.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds cool. Now, because you're relatively new to Chicago, a couple of things that you would recommend about the city.
Mm. I always wish that, we would have lived in the city. My husband had the chance to, but I came from Denver with, I had one on the way, so we went straight to Evanston. But I love heading to the city whenever I can. For me, the Peggy Notebart Museum is just has so many special memories because that's where I took my kids when they were little. And
Wow.
we would just spend so much time there. It's a gorgeous museum. Um, so yeah, I have to say I love that very much. And of course, just I love being on the side streets downtown. But Michigan Avenue is great and I love it, but I also love ending up on some of these side streets. You make discoveries. I make a new discovery every time I'm there. I love it.
Do you miss Denver?
Yeah, I
Are you eventually
do.
going, are you guys eventually going back or?
We will go back and probably share our time between the two because, I mean, we love Chicago so much and, it's been a great place to raise a family. I love the Midwest, but I am a mountain girl through and through. So that's out there that we will be there, spending more time there, definitely.
Well, they're two great cities. You can't lose with
I
that.
know, right? So
Before
true.
I let you go, tell everybody whatever you like about Pinerary, yourself, your platform, where they could find it all.
Yeah, you can find us at pineary.com. We love it's free to join. So just come on in and join and become part of the community and share. This is our base model. We think we've come out of the gates with a really great model, but we are going to be improving and iterating and you'll be seeing us in more places to soon to come. And that's all I can really say. But yeah, we're just so excited, and it's such a privilege to be out in the travel landscape. As a female-founded company, women plan 80% of travel. So I feel like this perspective is something that's been missing. Yeah, so come
And
and
where can they
join.
find the information?
Oh
Social
yeah,
media, website?
so yeah, come and we're a web-based platform, so just go to pinerary.com and you'll see us there. But we're also in all the social spots as well at Pinerary. So you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere else on social media.
That's where I found you, and I'm glad I
Oh, there
did.
you go. Me too.
It really is a good site. Like I said before, it impressed me because it seemed like real people with real stories. I didn't look at anything and go, I really like, I didn't think anything was AI. It just seemed like real people, great
No.
stories, and it inspired me to go to a bunch of places. So now I got a big list where I have to go, but that's my headache.
See, your
Good
list
headache
just
though.
grew. It's a positive problem.
Andy, thank you for your time. Really, thank you for what you do for travel. You're certainly making it better for everybody, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your time and safe travels.
Such a pleasure, John. Thank you. Same to you.